everybody, welcome back to the channel. This video is a little overdue. My 1 year plus experience with the Corvette C8 Z06. What can I say? The car is phenomenal. I know I did a 2-year review when I had the Camaro ZL1 1LE, and a lot of people have kind of asked me what the differences between the cars. I mean, they're significant. This car definitely gets more, well, I won't say it gets more attention. Gas station stops, you still get about the same amount of people that come up and ask you about this car as I did with the ZL1 1LE. I think the big carbon fiber wing on that car definitely made more people come and, say something and ask and talk about the car. Whereas this one, a little more sleek design. I don't have the big wing, which I actually like not having the big wing. It does make it a little easier seeing out of the car for sure. Plus this one's got the, electronic rearview mirror, where my ZL1 1LE didn't have that. It was just the standard rearview mirror. But just want to kind of go over a few things, positives, negatives. You guys have comments, post them. You got questions, what it's like to live with this car every day. I actually bought the car in December of 2023, but was not able to get the museum delivery until January 3rd of 2024. So I actually picked the car up in January 2024. As soon as I got the car picked up, I took it and I did drive it back down from Bowling Green, Kentucky to North Georgia, where we live. And I did go through, and very first thing I did is had the entire car PPF paint protection film put on the car, Expel. I did the gloss, and then I had it ceramic coated over that. Knowing that I was going to this is the first time first off, let me say, I've never done PPF on a car before. This was my first time doing that. It is pricey. If I wasn't driving the car all the time, I probably wouldn't have done the full car, but I did do PPF on the entire car simply because I knew I would be daily driving it. And I wanted it to be easy to maintain, easy to wash, all that type of stuff. It parks in a garage at night, but during the day while I'm at work, it's sitting outside in the elements. So I drive it in the rain, whatever, doesn't matter. I drive it all year round. I have not had a day that was bad enough to not be able to drive this car here in the South. So keep that in mind. PPF, I will say, if you are OCD, it's probably not going to be for you, especially if you daily drive the car. My installer is an outstanding installer, Skylar Skates. They did awesome on being able to do it, S&S paint protection film. But you're going to still get stuff because, especially if you drive it in the rain, you're going to get, some dirt up underneath certain parts of it, and you can use alcohol and get it out and stuff. And on a lighter color car, you will see that a little easier. If it was like a black or something, I'd probably never even notice it, I would guess. But, if you're prone to hating any type of little imperfection, you're probably not going to be super excited about dealing with that. I will say, though, the paint protection film has already saved me several rock hits where they took the blunt of the hit, and I'll show you those in a little bit. And I'm not going to have the paint protection film replaced right now. I'll wait till I get a few more. But that definitely has saved that area. And like I said, I like to go to car shows. I'm not one that tries to go to a show to win. I simply go to shows because I'm the type of person, I like to let people sit in the car, kind of experience the car as much as they can. I mean, obviously I'm not letting them take, joy rides in it. But so I am one that, wants people to actually experience the car. So it's not a museum piece. This is a car. I mean, it's driven every day. But I did want to get that out there, that That's something I did not do on the ZL1 was the paint protection film. Um, and I really didn't get a lot of rock hits in that car, that ZL1 I drove it 3.5 years, daily driving it. This one, like I said, a little over a year now. It probably took a couple weeks. So I've had the car now probably a year and 2 months I've actually driven the car. Got about 10,400 miles on the car. So it's not crazy. I mean, I don't drive but about 20, 25 miles to work each day. So I don't put a lot of miles driving it, but it gets driven every day. At least 5 times out of the week. On the weekend, maybe it doesn't get driven if I'm, doing something else, but primarily this car is driven all the time. Just some stuff to kind of go over that I've dealt with since having the car. So anybody that's followed my channel, they've seen when I first picked up the car, we did experience a check engine light like right away. That seemed to just be an electric gremlin because they did like an update and stuff, and that was like a no big deal thing. I've seen a lot of people with cars that have had that issue. The next one, not so much. We noticed a leak, and I was 589 miles. Thankfully, it didn't happen while driving back from Bowling Green, but it was coolant fluid. Ended up being a connector, like just a plastic connector fitting that was leaking. My dealership reached out to General Motors. First thing General Motors wanted to do is they told them to drop the cradle. My dealership was like, we're not doing that. Like we want to see if there's any way we can take the airbox assembly and everything out and see if we can get to that connector from the top side. And they was able to do it. It did take them a little bit longer to do it, but that way they didn't have to unhook and drop the engine out of the car. So that was a good thing. I was back on the road, and since then I have had 0 leaks. So fixing that connector, it was just a plastic connector that leaked. No big deal there. At 2,400 miles, I did the first oil change, which is free. Kind of a funny thing on this is when I did the oil change, I did go through, because there's a lot of this on the internet, where I specified to them, hey, I only want to do the oil change. I'll pay for the oil change out of pocket, and then wait and do the oil change and the transmission filter service that'll be the free one. They agreed, no big deal. So during that time, my dealer, when I took the car in to do that, their system went down. They actually had a hacker. It happened to a lot of dealerships, actually hacked their system. And so there was some confusion there. And when I went to pick up the car, they actually did the oil change and the transmission filter replacement. Not all the fluid, just the filter. But they did not even charge me for that. So I basically just got an extra filter change for free. So that was good that they didn't upcharge me or anything on that. Then I did have another check engine light come on. That was at 2409s when I had that first service done. That's when my first oil change was due. At 2,800 miles, I had another check engine light come on. They didn't see any issues. I remember during that time going to several car shows, and I personally think what caused that check engine light was I would have the car off, and while sitting there at the show, somebody would want to hear the car start. I would cold start it, or remote start it, and then turn it off. And then a little while later, somebody else would come up and want to hear the car start, so I would just remote start it again. And I did that a few times at one of the car shows. And later that day, when I went to leave, is when I got the check engine light. I don't know if that's what caused it, because they couldn't find any. When they ran the codes, there was there was no issue. It was like just reset it and it was done. But I think it was something to do with that, because stopped doing that going forward, and I have never had another issue. But that could just be total coincidence. Uh, but I will say that it was pretty coincidental that it happened that day that I did that at the car shows. Uh, but since then, zero check. That was at 2,800 miles. So I've had almost 8,000 miles since then. No check engine lights. Um, then this last service I had was my oil change again with the transmission filter service that was all free. That was done at 9,776 miles. And again, like I said, all I had to pay the first time was the oil change, and they didn't charge me for the transmission filter. And this time I didn't pay for the transmission filter. So that's all the service history this car's had. So not a huge deal since having the car. Flat tires. I've had more flat tires in this car than I've ever had in any car. It probably doesn't help that our subdivision, my house included, has had the roofs replaced this year. Like there's probably been 50% of the houses in the subdivision have roofs replaced. And so I know some of the ones I picked up when I went to Discount Tire were just like roofing nails. So thankfully all of them have been repairable, and I know there are others on the internet that'll say don't repair a run flat tire. Believe me, if I was planning on doing aggressive driving or anything like that, I would not do that. But this car's daily driven a lot. It just sees some little short blasts every now and then. I'm not doing any extensive driving, crazy speeds. Save that for the track, which I have not taken the car to the track yet. I have thought about it, but just, a lot of life things going on right now. And, that track time costs money. And, right now I'm just focusing on what I have. But tires have held up really good. I would guess I would get probably close to 20,000 miles out of this set of tires. I mean, I'm 10,000 in. I'd say I'm about halfway through tread life, which is pretty amazing for me. I mean, I would think. But we'll see. I'm thinking anywhere from 15 to 20,000 I should get out of them. But so far, impressed with the tires. Even with the having repairs, I haven't had any other issues out of the tires after that. So that's pretty much it for maintenance things or daily issues. Checking the engine oil every other fill up, tank of gas, which is frequent. That's one thing I will say. In 10,000 something miles, I think I'm averaging about 12.9 miles per gallon. So it is not a fuel efficient vehicle, and nobody would buy this vehicle for that anyway. I enjoy it. It's very fun. Usually stopping at a gas station does give you a conversation with somebody, especially if they're a car person. They'll come up and ask about the car, things like that. But yeah, it's been a phenomenal car. Easily the best Corvette I've owned. I mean, I won't say it's the fastest Corvette I've owned. Well, let me take that back. I wouldn't say I've not driven this faster than I have one of my other Corvettes, put it that way. But it is very fun. I mean, it's the sound alone, the flat plane crank engine, just the pops and the downshifts, and I mean, it's just the noise alone. I wouldn't care if this car was slow. I mean, it sounds so good. And I'm a bigger guy, and it's a comfortable car. I do have comp seats. I will say if I was any bigger than I am, it probably would be difficult. I will flat out say that. So I would highly recommend people that are looking at doing competition seats, find somebody that's got one that has those seats and see if they'll let you sit in them. I mean, if you're around local, for me, hit me up. I don't have any problem with you coming and sitting in the car. But I do love the seats just because the materials, the bolsters, that like textile material on the sides, that's awesome. Getting in and out of the car, I mean, the wear on the seats, I'll show you all that here in a second. I mean, they look like they're brand new. I mean, and I get in and out of them every day, multiple times. So They're awesome. Convertible. First convertible I've ever owned. Uh, I absolutely would do it again for hardtop. I don't know about soft top, but hardtop, this thing is amazing. I mean, you can put it up and down going 30 miles per hour. Uh, I didn't think I would enjoy having a convertible as much as I do. The only downside to having a convertible when you've never had one is you've got to remember to put sunblock on. That's my only downside is I have to remember to carry sunblock with me because I'm just not used to having a top down. Actually, my arm's a little burnt today because me and Wendy went and rode around in the car with the top down. So that is something you have to be careful of. You have to remember to put sunblock on. Let me see. Storage space. Storage space is good in this car. I have no complaints there. I've done a video on the seats that we use when we go to car shows, and I have two of them. They're the Cabela's. I can't remember exactly the thing, but I'll put a link in the video. But I'll show you real quick. So these are the seats that we use. They're bulky, but collapsed, two of these will fit in the trunk of the convertible. Obviously, if you had a coupe and you just have to store the top, that wouldn't work, but these things are awesome. They do have a little bit of an incline, or recline, I mean, to them, but nothing excessive. And they hold up to 600 pounds. I mean, they are bulky, tough seats. So that's a plus for car shows. Having something that's a little comfortable. Okay, so let's kind of go through storage space. I mean, well, first let me show you the rock hit. Okay, so I've got one little rock hit right here. It just barely kind of chipped into the protection there. And then I got one where it just chipped into the protection there. So I've already gotten two hits. But really, to me, that's not that bad considering over 10,000 miles of driving it all the time. But definitely not anything bad enough where I would want to replace the pieces yet. But as far as the soft close, I will tell you is a little finicky. But storage-wise, I mean, anybody that's got one of these cars, unless you're getting the ZR1, which then you're out of luck on that, but I don't think you're going to care anyway. You got 1,000 plus horsepower to play with. But this car, you can store a lot of soft close luggage here. One thing I will say, the battery is easy to get to. That was another thing that I did have to have replaced under warranty, was the car battery. Car battery died. They replaced it free of charge. But this closing of the soft close, to me it seems like with it about right here, if you just kind of drop it, it generally catches itself. When you try to slow, I always have problems trying to slow close it. It just doesn't want to latch. That could be user error, but I mean, I've tried hundreds of times. To me, that's the fastest and easiest way to close it, is just to kind of drop it. Doesn't hurt anything. Just kind of walk around this thing. Talking about the back though, I mean, like I said, the storage in the back, it's pretty amazing that you get this much storage in this convertible. I mean, you can put a lot of stuff. Like I said, I can fit both of those chairs in here, my GoPro bag, like a soft cooler, all that'll fit in here when we go to shows. Let's see. Only mods, I've done a few mods to the car. Let me see, I gotta make sure, I wanna make sure I'm not, I don't wanna put the top up, but I wanna do the service hatch, which is hitting the lock button and then holding in the release. And then you go until the lights come on, and that lets you know that it's done. So, I did a video on this as well. I have not taken this cover off since I installed it. That's been pretty close to a year now, I would say. So about 10,000 miles, close to 10,000 miles that this cover's been on. As you can see, there are a little bit of little drops of dirt, up underneath there. But I mean, really not bad. I mean, I think if you took this cover off once a year and just cleaned the underneath of it, because I did, clean it real good and put some ceramic underneath it, coating. But I've had no issues whatsoever doing 4 hour drives with the top down. No headliner issues. Nothing. No issues at all with this clear cover. This is the clear cover that Rapid Rev designs. I got it off of the Paragon Performance site. So I definitely would recommend that cover or one like it. They do have some other cool ones that are on their site that have carbon fiber and other things. Another little hint for convertible owners is if you put that service hatch up, it makes it super easy to clean this window. I mean, because you don't have these buttresses or whatever here. You just reach over. It makes it really easy. Inside, car still looks, I mean, literally like brand new. I mean, yes, this is leather, but as you can see, look, got a cat. As you can see, there's really no wear here, but this is the part I'm talking about, because all of this is textile material. And I mean, it's like resilient. It's awesome. It's like getting in it is just amazing. So the seats wear great. They're great. One thing you do have to constantly, a lot of people don't like the Alcantara steering wheel. I mean, about every month I'll clean that. Areas that I can see that there's some concern, I'll show you. Okay, so inside the car, you've got your steering wheel. That, like I said, I clean it about once a month with I have like a horse bristle brush and some suede cleaner. But things that I've noticed issue with on the door. Maybe it's me because I do have a bad hip, and I'm planning on getting that fixed this year. We shall see how that goes. But I am going to have a hip replacement. Things that I run into issue with, this area right here with my shoes, I'm always scuffing that. So I always have to clean that part right there. The other issue that I have with the suede is right here. This always is like light color, like where you're rubbing it and stuff. So I always have to keep this area clean right here as well. But let me get in. We will start this bad boy up. This isn't really a cold start. I mean, I've had the car running probably, I don't know, 6 hours ago or so, but close enough. Yes, it's amazing. Hey, look at that. My good friend, the fuel level. I got 22 miles before I have to get gas, so I'll have to get gas in the morning. But so things on the interior. Let's see here. Windshield isn't that difficult to clean in this car. I use like a retractable. It's like kind of a triangular shaped device. I think I might even have done a video on one. But it's an easy thing. It's got like a microfiber towel on it, and you just spray some cleaner on it and clean it, no big deal. So that's good. It's not that difficult to clean, really. Dash is pretty big, but I usually put the top down, and then I can easily get in here and clean it pretty easy. That's not a big deal either. Infotainment center, they did change it in 2024, so it's got like a little bit smaller screen, whatever. That didn't bother me because I didn't have any other C8 before that, so hey, I was used to it. One thing I did add was the magic mount along with the Pro Clip that goes on here. Yes, there is another way that you can run this wire. I haven't done it. You can, I guess, hide it in some different areas. I'll have to look into all that, but I guess you can run it back up under there and stuff. But I haven't taken time to do that. As far as mods, the only thing I've done on the inside is this right here. So I'm generally not a fan of overlays, but this one was pretty cheap and, well, let me rephrase that. This one was pretty inexpensive. Basically, it's just one that just goes right over this area right here, and it gives you the look more to where it matches the Stealth. At least it's not shiny. That's my only thing that I would change different about this car is when they're letting you do Stealth. I personally think all this should be Stealth. Like, they should make it to where there's no chrome. If you want it just to be blacked out, you should be able to just black it out. Same thing with this piece right here. And yes, I know they make overlays for these, but I'm kind of not a fan of putting any type of overlay on something that might have an airbag pop out at you. Maybe that's just me, but I'd rather not get smacked in the face with something that's not, designed to break away. But there are overlays. I actually bought one to go on this piece of it, on the sides, and I put it on, and after I put it on, I took it back off because I was like, because you could still see, chrome up underneath there, and to me it just looked tacky. So that's one thing that I would have liked to have seen them do, is make this more of just Stealth, where if you're gonna go Stealth package, why have any shiny stuff in your car? If you want to do shiny, let them do shiny. I think they should make that both ways. But anyway, so interior wise though, everything is good. Let's pop that, and you can see, okay, so this tank of gas actually was at 13.1. Unfortunately, well, actually it's showing for the last 4,000 miles 14.2. The first 6,000 miles though was a lot less than that. Somehow my trip 2 got reset, because I usually try to keep my trip 2 the length of having the vehicle. I've just always done that just because I'm a nerd like that and want to see like the whole picture. But as you can see, 10,348 miles. Tire pressures are a little bit high. They should be 30 cold, but they were 30 cold. I'm in Georgia, and like right now it's like 88. We're like 18 above temperature right now. Next week it's going to be in the 50s and 60s again, so it's fluctuating. So I haven't messed with the tires yet until we kind of get to a normal everyday temperature, and then I'll reduce the pressure a little bit on them. But generally early in the morning they're at 30 or 31. Let's see, anything else? The way I do the setup on my car is I do have Z mode where you can basically go into like launch control and all that, but I don't normally, I generally just keep it in my mode, which is set up for like maximum sound, all the good stuff. Whoops. So like my mode right now, I've got the steering set to sport, the suspension set to sport, the engine, track, and then the braking sport. For daily driving on the street, I think that's perfect. Z mode, I do have it set up for, like I said, track steering, track suspension, but I don't go with Z. I don't generally do any Z mode stuff unless you're doing some aggressive driving. Pretty much everything is set to track for the Z mode, except for the PTM, which is set up there. So, but that's how I have my mode and Z mode set up. PDR, I mean, I use it, but it's pretty much the same. I got it, actually, it's full right now. It's very similar to what was in the ZL1. Very, very, very easy to use. No issues there. But yeah, I mean, it's the car is amazing. It is an amazing vehicle. The top, I mean, just do it because I'm here and I can do it. Sorry, the sun's glaring back there with the garage open. But, I mean, it's like you can put the top down so fast in this car. Now, the only thing is when you do put the top down, you do have to switch your rearview mirror to the manual mode because obviously the camera is on top of the car, so you're not going to get the, so you do have to get that set up right to where you can see it. But I mean, without the wing in the back, I mean, you can see so much of the road behind you. But putting it up, I mean, it's literally the same process. Very easy. I haven't experienced any type of leaks or anything with it. That's the other thing that is cool, is having the convertible. Yes, you can't see the engine from the outside. I know there's a lot of people that like the coupe simply for that. But one thing with the convertible is you can do your windows down, and then you can also lower your back glass. So with the top up, it's like there's no buffering of the air. Like the air comes in and it just goes right out. I mean, it's a really cool experience because it's like you hear like you can have your windows up and just have the back glass down. That's all you hear is the engine. Like when you got the exhaust ripping and roaring, man, it is one of the best. It puts a smile on my face every time. That's one thing I will say. This was a crazy purchase. I got a lot of people that told me I was kind of crazy for doing it. I still have people that are like, I can't believe you bought that car to drive every day, but I don't know. It's kind of a therapy thing for me. And my thing is we only live once. If you're able to do something, you don't know how much time you got to do it. So I'm enjoying it as much as I can, as responsibly as I can. But yeah, that's pretty much everything about the car. I mean, it's a super awesome car. I know there's other people that have had issues with them, and my car's not been flawless. I mean, we have had some issues with the car, but all the electronic gremlins and stuff seem to have worked their way out. I haven't seen any other problems with the car at all. I'm not scared to take this car on a long drive. It's it doesn't scare me at all to do that. But anyway, a couple other things. Okay, so one last thing that I will show. I did a video of this because when I did the museum delivery, I also did the photo book, the baby book. So I did a whole video of this, so you can always go and look at it. But one thing I wanted to show you guys. So if you haven't seen this book basically it shows you every step of the car, this car as it was being produced in Bowling Green on the assembly line. So there's my build date, December 12th, 2023. And there's where the car started. And it just goes through the entire process. But what I wanted to show you, like I said, there's every single step of the car is here. But anyway, at the very end, that's what I wanted to show you. And there's my builder, David Steelman. Did a fantastic job. He actually has reached out to me several times on Facebook, just making sure everything's going good with the car. Hope he's doing well. But this is what I was going to show you. So at the museum, we did some pictures. So one of the pictures I did was one of my dad's friends from Vietnam, Wendell Strode. Anybody that knows Corvette Museum knows that Wendell was the president and CEO of the Corvette Museum for a number of years. He just recently retired, and his wife Jan, and then this is my mom and my wife Wendy, And so one thing I thought would be cool was, since I had this picture in there, I actually went up and had all of us sign it. So that'll always be with this car. It means a lot to me because my dad wasn't able to be there for it, and so it meant a lot that I asked Wendell if he could come, and he was like, I absolutely will be there. So I thought that was really awesome of him. But anyway, there's your photo. They actually have a different wall now, a different mural. I guess I said that right. The painting and everything. But I actually like the old one, but I don't know, that's just me. Okay, so there's my walk around. There's my story. Still have the tag. You never know. Maybe I'll win the lottery whenever the Zora comes out, and then I'll be able to transfer the tag. But absolutely never get rid of this car. This will be a forever vehicle for me. But that's pretty much all I've got. Car's amazing. Still running strong. Enjoy it every day. If you're on the fence about getting one, I mean, like I said, you only live once. Any of you out there that know kind of my family situation and what we've been through the last couple of years, just this past month, my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. And so she started her chemo battle this last week, and she's going to actually be doing surgery in a few weeks from now. After they do one more chemo treatment, they're going to go ahead and do the surgery. And God is good, and we will see what the outcome is. I know she's strong, she's ready to fight, and I was very honored and glad that she got to be a part of going and picking this car up, because she was a big driver in me getting this car after my dad passed away. She was like, yeah, you need to get it, like, because she knew he would have loved this car. But so anyway, with that, thank you for watching. I know I kind of was long-winded. It's been a while since I made a video. Like I said, just bear with me. That's kind of the reason why, is we've got a lot of family stuff going on. But all the prayers, I appreciate it. And you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.